Hello, Brian McCarthy here from Bold&Break. I'm delighted to be bringing you a fresh new tutorial. We're going to be looking at how to make a holographic hologram material in Cinema 4D using Redshift. Have a look at what we will be creating. Without further ado, let's get started. We have a bank safe here, and in that bank safe is a briefcase. Can't see that briefcase until we make the hologram material. If you want to break a safe, make a hologram material. Let's just take this null out. And just for the sake of simplicity, because this is a Sim 4D asset and it's, different layers and objects, we're going to right click and we're going to just connect objects and delete to keep things pretty straightforward for everyone. And we're going to do that with our briefcase as well. And do that now. Connect objects and delete. So it just applies to the one material. I'm going to delete these nulls. Now we're going to create our incandescent material. If you've watched my previous videos, you will know an incandescent material is a self-illuminating material. So it emits some form of light. Double click on the material, we're going to call it blue. And we're going to go into our node editor and drag this down here to the bottom just to make things more organized. Press Shift C. And we're going to bring in a material blender. And we're going to bring our material blender into the surface of the output node. And we are going to add a normal material to the base color here. And we are then going to add the incandescent material to layer 1. And we're going to drag our blue incandescent material over to the bank safe. We're going to go back into our node editor and we're going to select that material. Let's just call it base. And we are going to go over to overall. And you will see here the opacity property. We want to change that to black. Now, where is my object? It's gone missing. Don't worry. We're just very good at breaking bank safes. Go to display here. Just make sure so you can see your object and how it's framed. You have the lines selected or shading with lines selected. What's happening here is we're applying this material to this object and we're making it opaque so we can overlay some incandescent materials on top of one another to get a really cool effect. Let's change the color of our incandescent material. Let's just find a blue, press Ctrl C, Ctrl V and copy this. Bring this incandescent material and pipe it in to the material color on layer 2. I'm going to press Shift C again, type in Fresnel, and we're going to press Shift C again and type in curvature. Bring our Fresnel node and make it a blend color of layer 1, and you will start to see your material emerge. Bring your curvature and make it a blend of layer 2. And we're going to press Shift L to organize all our nodes. You will see also I have the post effects here. You can access them in the Redshift camera or you can access them in your Redshift render view. Okay, what is happening here? You might be confused as to what I'm doing. I'm applying this base material and I'm making it opaque. I'm making it transparent. What's the point of it then? Well, if I turn it off, you'll see we don't have a transparent material that we're overlaying an incandescent material on. So this is why this technique works quite well. And you're probably asking, why are you applying a Fresnel instead of a ramp? A ramp is great, but it just doesn't offer that same fall off that the Fresnel does in the form of reflectivity. And it's just a quicker solution. So if I put in a ramp here instead, which you can use, I feel like it just doesn't give the same effect. So let's pipe in a ramp to our blend color. And yes, you can mess about with this and change the value. But you're doing so much to get to the result that this Fresnel offers here. And what the Fresnel node is originally for is it offers a control over the reflectivity of a material or object, but it gives a really nice fall off, which is what it's doing essentially here. It's filling all the transparency that we've applied with this node. And if we turn it off, we can see it's just applying the incandescent layer that is blended with the curvature, which is cool as well. You can, it's a cool way to do it. And then the curvature is highlighting those kind of sharper areas of the object. And it's adding something very cool. And what is very cool about this is you have a lot of parameters here that you can just play around with, and you'll get different looks. It's the same with the Fresnel. If you change the index of refraction of the Fresnel, you can fill your holographic material a bit more. And to add a bit more control here, we're going to press Shift-C, and we're going to type in AB. I'm going to have this floating value node, and we're going to put this into the intensity multiplier of each incandescent node. And what that's going to do is, you'll see in a minute, is this just, instead of jumping between both, we can now just change the intensity of both without having to go into each node and set the value the same. So we'll put this to 1, and that basically controls the brightness, which you can do here individually. If I just unpipe it here, you can see intensity multiplier. Okay, so let's add a similar material to our briefcase. Hold Control, drag, double click, call it red. We're going to go into this, and we've opened up this material, and we're going to, and yes, you can apply a node to change the color of both nodes right here. And there you have it. You have 2 holographic materials looking pretty good. And what else is very, very cool about this? So if I want to, I can add as many layers of incandescent materials as I want. We know here that this is controlling the edges of this briefcase. So if I change the color here, I'm changing the color of the edges. And then that orange is covering a bit too much maybe. We can't see the red anymore. So maybe we want to bring down the amount of radius that this edge covers. And maybe we want to spread out the amount of red by changing the index of refraction that this incandescent material covers. And so you have these kind of nice red lines. So you can really style the material, and maybe you could add noise, a little bit of grain to it to add more kind of realism. There's so much you can do. I will probably do just a little extended video on this tutorial eventually. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something from it. Please remember to like and subscribe below. I will probably be putting these working files up on the store sometime soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.